160. He's gone.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. This video is going to be the intro video to a new project that I'm starting that's behind the camera right now. And so this video is going to be just me kind of going over the project and some just general musings from yours truly about some things that I found interesting. So this project is probably going to be our most extreme build project to date, at least motorcycle wise. I mean, you guys have seen me do a number of minor rebuilds on Gixxers and all kinds of garbage, but this is a little different. I present to you another Harley. More specifically, an 80-inch Evolution 91 FXR motor with a 4 or maybe a 5-speed transmission, who knows, in a custom aftermarket softail style frame with crazy inverted forks that are stretched. It's a 2-inch stretch and a 36-degree rake, a 38-degree rake, something like that. And it's got custom stretch tanks, all stainless steel lines and new hardware. Very expensive wheels and tires, this crazy belt drive thing, stretch tanks, and a hell of a mess when it comes to wiring. So that's all really going to say about the bike itself for now. Yeah, there's just a lot of work, and there's going to be individual videos, there's going to be build videos, there's going to be little projects, big projects. I'm in this so cheap that I could part it out and make good money, but I really for some reason just want to see this built. I've never owned a crazy custom framed Harley, and now I have one in my garage. I want to ride it at least before I sell it. So that's pretty much it for the bike. Now on to my musing. So musing number one, you would look around my garage and you would see a Buell and a Harley, and another Harley, and there's a Suzuki outside, but it lives outside. So you would think, gee, Max, you must be a Harley guy. But I'm not. I'm really not, and I never have. In fact, I was always one of those people that made fun of Harley people. The bikes are very heavy, they're very slow in comparison, they make a lot of noise, they rumble a lot, but the performance was always lacking, and it still is. And let me give you an example. Let me give you a couple of examples on why Harleys are so ridiculous, especially custom Harley. This is a kickstand to a custom Harley. Note the chrome, the very minor wear, and then look at this. This is the mount. Look at this jagged, shitty, stick welded, random piece of steel that is what attaches this to the frame. I mean, this is garbage. I mean, it's supposed to be stepped to use a check ball type system, but I mean, I could have built something better in my sleep. And in true Harley matter, we have a scale here. Okay, this is a kickstand. On average, kickstands on Gixxer, stuff like that, weigh less than a pound. Okay, they're cast pieces, they weigh less than a pound. I ship them in flat rate envelopes all the time. This is a shipping scale, 2 pounds, 12 ounces. Almost 3 pounds for a single kickstand. Let me give you another example. This right here, this is a billet that lives right here on the outside. And that little input shaft is the starter, and that's the big gear there right there. And this piece basically just kind of lives in here, right? Very common design. The starter's got to go, solenoid engages got to go forward. Normally on a Japanese bike, this is a cast piece, weighs less than a pound. 2 pounds even. 2 pounds for something that is literally for show. Look at that. That's solid. There's no magical machining. This is a solid piece of metal. These are extra forks that were left over from, they came with this project, but they were too short for the frame, and the guy gave them to me anyway. Let's take a look. 13 pounds, 5 ounces each. On average, the shipping weight for standard inverted forks for a Japanese motorcycle is around 17 to 19 pounds total. Those are 26. Way stretched out there, 26 pounds. Everything on these bikes is just ridiculous. This bike, as it sits, is probably 600 pounds. Or more. Actually, probably more. These FXRs are around 800 pounds from the factory. So I don't know what all is missing or how much of it is lighter. but there's a lot of work. The other thing is there's a lot of stuff on this bike that was welded and done and not done very well, which scares me a little bit because I haven't seen it run. I mean, there's a lot of really expensive parts on here, but at the same time, let me give you guys another quick peek here. This right here is a stock rear fender, right? And nothing special about it, it's just a stock rear fender, traditional style for the early 90s. Very Harley-Davidson, no big deals, right? And you'll notice that there's several places where there's a little porosity here and here. And it was clearly there were holes that were modified or welded shut to work from the stock Harley frame to the new frame. Nothing really weird about that, pretty common practice. You just go and you set the pulse TIG and you weld the hole shut and drill new holes. Nothing weird about that. Take a look on the inside, and I hope the camera can catch this. They took random galvanized washers and then attempted to just MIG them in place. I really like this nut right here, how that nut right there is MIG'd into place in like 3 different contact points, like a random piece of steel underneath it. It's like that really make me hesitant to go down the road at 70 miles an hour. There's a few more things on the frame that I found. There's the carburetor has this insane velocity stack on it that, I mean, just look at it. That's fucking crazy looking, right? This giant massive velocity stack sitting on a flat slide carb. You would think that this makes like all the torque in the world. But take a look on the inside. Let me grab a flashlight for the camera here. Take a look on the inside. Notice how it doesn't quite line up with the carburetor? Makes you wonder, right? Such an expensive, obviously nice billet piece that, you know, has been chromed and sitting on the carburetor and you know, it doesn't line up quite right. Well, let's take a look why it doesn't line up quite perfectly. If you look right there on the side, that is a nut that was welded to a bolt that the inside threads of that nut match these bolts that hold this velocity stack on. To be honest with you, I don't even know what these things are. These little drop-down buoy things. Don't have the faintest clue what possible function they could have. Maybe they're block-offs for the breathers on the heads. I really don't know. Down here is the starter. I showed you guys from the other side earlier. I went to go see if I could just make this thing turn over. But for whatever reason, solenoid doesn't pop out far enough to engage the teeth. So I mean, this is going to have a whole lot of issues, and it's going to be a major project. And I went ahead and paid $10 for the manual. The manual, thankfully, is like 900 pages. We're definitely going to have a cool time working on this and make some cool videos. And before I let you go, take a look at that dry clutch, just like a Ducati. Now look at that move. That's always exposed. The dry clutch is always exposed, and the amount of effort needed to activate it is approximately 1 billion pounds. In fact, if I was any less muscular, I probably wouldn't be able to ride this bike, which just adds to the insanity. Anyway, guys, I hope you're excited. I'm excited. This is really far out of left field for me. Like, the only thing crazier is if we built like a drag racing scooter or something. That would be equally out of left field for me. But it's got a lot of cool, expensive parts on it, and I got all the paperwork for it, which is exciting. So we got some learning to do. Make sure you check out MaksWerks on Instagram. You'll probably see pictures of this bike long before videos about it come out. And make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, make me happy. And that's all I got for you guys.